Hello and welcome to the 29th edition of PÖFF, Tallinn Black Nights Film Festival. My name is Massimo Iannetti. I'm part of the programming team here at the festival, and this is PÖFF TV, Meet the Filmmakers, a chance for our audiences to get to know the filmmakers behind the films that are screening here at the festival. And today we have the pleasure to have a conversation with Petter Naess, who's the director of No Comment, screening as part of the official competition. So welcome, Petter.
Thank you very much.
I know you just arrived in Tallinn, but you've been here before.
Yes.
So I'm sure you had already experience of the festival, and we're really hoping that this time will really be the best one so far.
Yes. Why?
Yeah, I just wanted to start by asking you. No Comment is a very sharp mix of political thriller and satire, and is tied to a very specific event in Norway. So my interest was understanding a little bit the moment in time where you realize, okay, this is the moment to make this film, and also what made you think this needs to be a satirical, satire type of satire film.
Yeah. First of all, these events with the former prime minister whose husband had some was it called? He was dealing with stocks or on the Wall Street thing. Yes. In Norway, and he was doing that while she was the prime minister, and they were too close, of course. So he got information he shouldn't get, and then this thing came out, and it was all over the news for a while, and then we thought that because it was, when we come up with the idea, there was like 2 years till the next election, and we wanted the movie to premiere on that time, 2 weeks before the election. We wanted to keep this story warm about the prime minister and her husband trying to kind of cover up this thing, and we wanted to reveal it instead and keep it warm for the audience, so that we don't forget that a prime minister and the spouse have a certain responsibility. Yeah, they're in a special position. And then I think I forgot the other question you had.
Just about the idea of making this film a satire. And
I think it's nice to see adults who should know better make mistakes and try to cover up. And it's I think comedy is a man or a woman in trouble, knowing that you're wrong, but you still insist on being right. And I can recognize that within myself sometimes, that I get stubborn. I want to cover up. I want to present a better version of myself, so I lie about things, and people say, but that's not true, and I keep saying yes, and so I wanted to use comedy and satire to reveal these people, to reveal the struggle to maintain the truth when everybody knows it's a lie.
I think this is very true. I mean, again, in contemporary, in modern times, I think this is very true for everyone. I mean, yeah. Social media and the way we present ourselves to the world is very much filtered, and we're trying to show the best version of ourselves. So
yeah, we try to steer the narrative, but it's when the whole press and the media want to direct it in another direction, it's hard to win, actually. And especially when some filmmakers come on top of it to say that, and it's a story about adult people who should actually be adult, but there are no adult people in there at all. So they behave like kids, pretend no, I didn't do it, wasn't me.
And there are moments of burst into eccentric. And very sort of like a burst of almost violent, opposite of adulthood in a way.
Yes,
I don't want to say too much about this because I think these are very nice bits of the film, and I don't want to reveal it for our audiences.
Yeah. But I can say that the main topic is to investigate how how far are you willing to go to stay in power, and how much are you willing to offer and sacrifice to stay on top. And that's what the movie is about. The will to power is very strong, and funny, and sad.
Yeah, and I think you have a very nice way of calibrating and balancing all these aspects together, all these emotions and tones of the film.
To the previous question, why it's a satire? Because it's actually we tried to turn it into a kind of a more of a political thriller, but it didn't play out that well, because it's not that. We felt that we could address the problem and the topic better by revealing the comedy within it, the human comedy of trying to be and to pretend to be something that you're not.
And I was wondering, because you were mentioning as well this slightly before, did you face any type of resistance while you were making the film?
No. Well, yeah, many people say that, because many people, of course, like these politicians, and it's a moderate right wing party, and they're okay, and they're not extreme in any way, but and many people say, oh, I hope we're not too rough with them, because they're nice people and it's sad for the family and them and all that. But it's the Prime Minister herself, she was invited to see the film incognito, without anyone knowing, not the press, anything. But they just didn't want to touch it. Then if I'd been the Prime Minister, I would say, yes, I'll watch the movie, and I'll go out. No matter what I think about it, I'll go out to the media and say, this was funny. We should be allow people to make movies, make fun of us in that way, and then we liked it. Then they would take out the whole tension of it, but they constantly resisted. No, we don't want to see it. We don't go to the movies. The Prime Minister even said so. So I don't know if she's seen it, but she's nothing to be afraid of. She lost anyway the elections. So,
everything is fine.
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
But do you think other politicians will watch this, or will you want them to watch
this?
Yes,
we want everyone to watch it, and it's a reminder of how much responsibility you have when you're in that office. When you're Prime Minister, you're the head of the country, so you have to be responsible. So we wanted to put the camera where they didn't want to have it, where they wanted to be alone. So and then we put the camera there and see, because many of these things we don't know what they talked about in these rooms, trying to deal with this whole scandal. But we have invented a lot of stuff that we imagined could happen, and of course there was has been written a lot about it in the media, so we know a lot about it, but we don't know what happened in these rooms, and that's where we create most of the comedy.
And we know the film has already screened in Norway.
Yes.
And of course we are very happy to have it screening here as part of the competition, and we urge audiences to come and see it, because it's very funny. It's it says a lot about our times, and again, it's very tied to Norway at a specific moment in time, but I think it speaks universally about the situation in many countries in Europe. I'm thinking about Italy, for example, right now.
Yeah. And the former Eastern Europe countries in Balticum and everywhere, they have had politicians that have been corrupt, and there's been corruption, and there's been all of these things going on. So I think it's a good thing to sit back and recognize a lot of things and have a good laugh of it.
And how have Norwegian audiences reacted to?
They liked it. It's fun. It's the first time there's a political satire in Norway. So people, but as I said, many people were afraid that we were too harsh with them, too rough with the politicians. But we didn't make this move to alter the election or to make that party lose the election. They did anyway, but that was because she she treated this whole thing very badly. She should have stepped aside and let someone else take over when the scandal was there, but she didn't. She insisted on staying in there because her will to power was so strong, and that's why she lost, I think.
I also wanted to touch briefly on the main cast,
Yeah.
because their dynamic is incredible,
Yeah.
and these are two very strong women that are trying to cooperate and find a way to find a way out.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say too much about it, but it'd be interesting to understand, when did you realize they were the right fit for the characters you had in mind?
Instantly, actually, when we talked about the project, it had to be them. I've been working with them in 3 seasons of a big Norwegian TV series that I think have been screened all over the world, called State of Happiness, and I worked with them for many years, and they have their characteristics and the power and the vulnerability, the strength, the raw, and I know them very well. But beside from that, yeah, when you know, because it's the prime minister, and kind of the main character is a spin doctor that comes in to help her to steer the narrative in the right direction. And Pia Tjelta, who plays that part, she has that. She's a cool, raw person, and she did the similar kind of character in the 3 seasons of State of Happiness. But that was in the 60s and 70s, when women were not in the position to be prime ministers or anything. But now it's time to tell stories about these strong women who they are tough.
And they're navigating tough times as well.
Yeah, definitely. So it's and then of course the man is the weaker part.
Yes.
He doesn't really have a chance there. But well, I won't spoil too much. But it's I think it's a lot of good fun. The man struggling to survive up against these two, his own wife and this spin doctor, and they're not making it easy for him. And he's not making it easy for them either. But this movie is kind of a bit inspired by the American film called Wag the Dog. I don't know if you've seen that. It's a political satire with Robert De Niro, and it's about the president of the United States, fictional president, who in the beginning of the movie, he has been in a hotel room with a far too young girl, and that's a big scandal, and need to bring in a spin doctor to steer the narrative away from that. So he comes up, the spin doctor says, the only thing that can help us, we need a war. so they hire a movie director to kind of to stage a war and film a war where the American president goes into action. He takes control of the situation, and he shows he shows the press that he is a man of power, and he can help people suffering and all that. So they don't care about that young woman anymore. So it's a bit inspired by that.
I'm sure there's so much more that we can chat about, and I hope we will be able to do it during the Q&A.
Yes.
For our screening. For now, I just would like to thank you again, Petter, for your time, and I urge everyone to come and see this film. It's a lot of fun, but also leave you thinking by leaving the theater. So yeah, I think it's highly recommended. So please do join us, and we'll chat more then.
Yeah, you're all welcome.